My name is Deni Avdija. My name is Deni Avdija. My name is Deni Avdija.
Avdija. I like the sound of that. Here on the Sam Dracula channel, we talk about the Charlotte Hornets. We're continuing to look at NBA prospects ahead of the 2020 draft. In this episode, we are covering Deni Avdija, the man from Israel, the man who may be the best player in the draft. We'll see. Same routine as we did with Edwards, Wiseman, and LaMelo. I'm looking at a few different things. I'm gonna give a number out of 10 based off my just reaction from intaking that information. I'm gonna average those numbers up and we're gonna get a score and compare them to the other guys. Just for context purposes, Edwards and Wiseman both got a 9.5 out of 10. LaMelo in his episode, he walked away with a flat 9. So at the end of all this, we'll get my unofficial, unprofessional, unsolicited, unqualified, definitely big board. I think what I'm gonna try to do is put that in an Excel document and link it in the description so you can follow along with the players, the scores, and links to the videos where I talk about. For context purposes, I'm on NBA.com and they have a consensus mock draft. Just looking at all the prospects, right? And all the different media outlets out there and where they place these kids and with what teams. And I want to just show you guys this most common picks: Edwards, Wiseman, LaMelo, then Deni with LaMelo with Killian Hayes mixed in. So this is more within the realm of possibilities that Deni will be there when the Hornets pick at 3. Whether or not they take him, who knows? But unlike Edwards, who I don't think will be there when the Hornets pick, this is a real possibility for the franchise to select Deni. So just want to put that lens in it. I'm back with another Eric Fawcett article. I really liked what he wrote about LaMelo, how he presented that information and how well the story was written. So we're continuing along the trend, back again with him talking Deni. And so let's get into it. Take every stereotype you might have about a European prospect and throw it out the window. And he's accomplished that title by playing an American style game, defensive toughness, determination on the glass, and of course, swagger. That's a strong opener. I like that a lot, not gonna lie. My number one question about Deni is, what position is he? Really? 6'9" forward, showing great flexibility to get a low dribble for a man his size and can protect the rock while weaving around ball screens. And when he gets into the teeth of the defense, he has a variety of tools. I like the way that sounds a lot. The option to pull up with a high release jumper that is nearly impossible to block. Love that. Is always there. And he's also more than willing to take it all the way to the cup and initiate contact. Love that as well. That we can get the soft European stuff, just take it off the table right away. If he seeks out contact, I'm here for that. Incredibly intelligent. When moving away from the ball, he feasts on easy buckets from back cuts or slip screens when he sees a lapse in defense. His ability to create offense with the ball in his hands, with his driving ability, or off the ball with his savvy shows great maturity for a young player, and it should help him be effective early in his NBA career. Yeah. So that's a strong positive for me. Another stereotype we can toss out. Not only does he have the mindset to produce on the defensive end, but he also has solid athleticism that separates him from similar European forward prospects in recent history. Here for that. Big, super here for that. That athleticism helps him as a shot blocker and when it comes to leaping above the pack to get a rebound, which should help him adjust to the NBA game. Language time. Safe bet and chance at being a star. That's what you want to hear about a guy you take high up in the first round of the draft, right? So he's been an effective scorer at multiple levels, all right? But doesn't have the quick first step or straight line speed he may need to beat NBA defenders regularly. Right now, the jump shot is a bit of a concern. Rip. Mechanically, it doesn't look totally out of whack, but simply put, in recent competition, he just hasn't been able to hit enough shots. Rip. He hit only 28% of his threes in the EuroLeague last season and 29% in his last 2 FIBAs. So there has to be some worry. Furthermore, he only shot 60% from the free throw line last season. So there's definitely appears to be a problem with this stroke. That's how paragraph ends. Definitely damning, but like with the other prospects, shooting will come. I think, if a guy really wants to be a good shooter, he'll become a good shooter. He just needs to figure out when to take those shots and work with professionals here, like the highest caliber of coaches, to help him like reach that full potential. So I'm not too worried about that. Although the 60% from the free throw line isn't great, especially when earlier it said he's really good at attacking the rim and like drawing contact. Like if he's drawing contact and not finishing and converting at once, like I don't like that very much. Because of his jump shot struggles, there are going to be teams that see him as a power forward. Okay, when you view him through that lens, he's a bit thin at 215. If he can't hit enough shots to play the wing, he may not be able to demonstrate the skills that make him an elite prospect. The ceiling is Detlef Schrempf. Respect, love that. Floor, Kelly Oubre. All-around talent wing with great size. Versatile, he can play from shooting guard to power forward. Great feel for the game. He possesses high basketball IQ. Very competitive, not afraid of the big stage. Jack of all trades, he can just about do everything on the floor. That's all that Mint has been exposed to high-level competition from a young age and has held his own. He's been a professional for a while. He deserves credit for playing with and against grown men as a teenager. Needs to continue bulking up, but be careful not to lose his flexibility and mobility. So yeah, he's a kid, man. Like, so I'm not worried about that too much either. He's gonna be with professional nutritionists and athletic trainers that can get him in a program to get him like the NBA grown man body that he needs to succeed. So not worried about that at all. Is generally considered the best player of his generation in Europe. That's a good thing to say, right? He has been amazing at FIBA's youth championships for years. On paper, he's the definition of a new era wing, since he could be a two-way force with a great offensive skill set and above average defensive potential. His ability to create for himself and his teammates is that makes him so unique. I think I've seen enough from the scouting reports department. I'm giving him a 10. I love that he's been a pro. I love that he has like translatable skills at the next level. And the weaknesses are things outside of his wingspan and just like his first step and like lateral quickness, I guess. Everything can be really worked on. He can get bigger. He can fix his shot. He can improve his shot selection. All those those core like abilities can be built upon. And his ability to move off the ball, his professionalism, his just star power potential. He can get busy. I like it. So 10 out of 10 for me with him. I like what I read. I like that a lot.
Here he is, Avdija for the first time.
The shot, I think the shot looks good. I'm not mad at that. No, it's the Europe three-pointer, but
Deni Avdija.
I don't hate his shot.
On towards Avdija. Puts the ball on the floor.
Shows patience. Finishes. So he bites on the pump fake first. Then he recovers, gets in front of the ball handler. Ball handler posts him up. Then he remains patient here and just elevates, goes in for the clean block, and gets the ball back. Starting a fast break. I don't know what happened at the end of the fast break because it cut it. But I like that. I like that. He showed patience and he recovered quickly from making a mistake from biting on that pump fake. Because in the next level, if Deni leaves his feet, James Harden's gonna jump into him and he's gonna shoot free throws. Like, I like that. I like that. He adapted quickly there. Let's see what else we can find. All right. Reads the miss, grabs the board, finishes, and draws the foul. Love to see it. All right. Cleaning the glass and getting the board. Running the floor. Finishing strong at the rim. I like that. Let me rewind that. I want to see him run. So he does look stiff, not gonna lie. They're not. I see what they mean, or like what they're referring to in those scouting reports about his mobility. Like, I see it, you can see it. But look at the explosiveness when he gets into the paint. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm cool with that. Then he's unguarded. First off, he's open. Number 12 here goes to the rim. The defense swarms on him. Then he sees that and crashes, right? He runs towards the net. Whoever 12 is sees him, hits him with the ball. It's a bad pass because the ball's like behind him. Then he recovers, goes up and down with it. I like that. I've been saying that a lot. Like, look at the awareness to get the easy bucket. He just the defender just loses him, which is insane. How do you lose a 6'9" kid? Look at him. Look at him. I don't know if you can tell that. I'm gonna make this full screen in a second. Look at this. Number 7 here. Number 7 supposed to be guarding him. He just loses him, and Deni sees that and runs to the net. What is this? What is that, man? Like, props for Deni for completing the play, but man, what is that? Deni demands the ball. Strong one-handed bounce pass to his man. I like that. I like that a lot. In order to not get carried away with watching these highlights from Europe, I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. It would have been a 10, but watching his opponents was too much. It's too much. So gets a 9. So that's enough for the highlights. Next up, we'll look at how he would fit in with the current Charlotte Hornets roster. Let's operate under the assumption, just for the sake of this, that Deni is a 3 or a 4, right? Let's just go with that. If that is the case, his competition, right, would be the Martin twins, Nick Batum, assuming he, if he hasn't already, assuming he exercises his option, Miles Bridges and PJ Washington and Jalen McDaniels, right? Not like that crop of guys who, like, I like those guys a lot, but those guys are not above being replaced by a rookie at all. One could argue Deni's arrival would be an upgrade over some, if not most, of those players. His position is weird, and we already have guys that have weird positions. I do like the idea of going small, and you have Devontae Terry at the guards, and then running Miles, Deni, and PJ in the front court. I don't know what that looks like defensively, but offensively, Deni being like a point center would be pretty good. He'll be like our version of Jokic, but shorter, and that is good. Because it's weird, I'm gonna give him a 9 out of 10 for team fit, just because it's weird. On paper, I think he has what it takes to contribute to this team. Like, he'd be an enormous asset to the Charlotte Hornets franchise. I really believe that. And it's just, how do you make it work? And I think JB can figure it out. I believe in him as a head coach. I think he could figure this out to make it work. I just really concerned about what that looks like defensively. But the idea of Deni playing like a point center, it's really appealing. I do like that. Let's move on to his Instagram. This picture looks like it's straight out of the 90s. I rate that a lot. Him and his mom, him on the golf course like that. North Carolina has a lot of golf courses, a lot of options in that front. And the weather's pretty nice all year round, so I think he'd enjoy it here. What else here? What else we got? He's wearing his mask. Love to see it. What's going on here? Got him. That's excellent. Okay, so he has a sense of humor. Look at all these thirsty Bulls fans. The fact that they want him makes me want him. What I don't want is for the Bulls to draft somebody, whoever that person is, and that guy be the guy the Hornets could have drafted. I don't need that in my soul. I don't need that hanging over the franchise's head that we're one pick away from the MVP or all-star caliber guy, right? So that's the concern, really, that the Bulls just nail it, whoever's there. But I like this. He's flexing his chips, you know, in the kitchen, wearing a mask. Love it. Drinking water, as he should. I don't know what type of phone that is. I think it's an iPhone. Respect. Shouts to Omri Caspi. Yeah, I think he's killing Instagram. Nothing crazy on here. Nothing like inappropriate or anything like that. So yeah, I think this kid's ready for the league. I think he's really ready. What is this? What is that? Is that a Warriors hat? You know, and it's worn out too. Look at that. He's been wearing that thing a lot. I mean, it's from 212 weeks ago. So there's that as well, from September 2016. And it's 2015 hat. He's had that thing for a while. He must really like the Warriors. You know what? Sorry, Deni. I gotta deduct a point. No, you know what? Not a full point. A half a point. I was gonna give him a 10. he gets a 9.5 on his Instagram. Scouting report done. Highlights done. Team fit done. Instagram done. That brings us to a total of 9.375. So let's round that up to 9.4, I guess. But what that does is put him in my rankings, I guess, right behind Edwards and Wiseman, who are tied, who share the #1 spot. And then that would put Deni at 3rd, I guess, and then LaMelo right behind him. So it's a tight group there, which is really fair. Like, when I started this video, I knew very little about Deni. Didn't even know how to pronounce his name. Now, after sitting here for like an hour just looking at stuff about him, as a fan, I would back his selection by the Hornets 3rd overall with everything. Like, he would get my full support if he joined this franchise on draft day. I think next weekend, I'm gonna do an episode on Killian Hayes. People have been asking about him. I know nothing about him like I knew nothing about Deni. I'm very excited to sit here and learn about Killian Hayes with y'all. I hope I'm saying his name correctly too. I don't even know if that's even how you pronounce his name. So we'll find that out as well at the same time together. So stay tuned for that. And then after that, I think I'm gonna take a break from the prospect and look at trade options. Trying to figure out a way to do it that would bucket the different trade possibilities in different scenarios. So that takes a little more time. So stay tuned for that as well. If you have any trade ideas, send them my way. I want to hear them. I've spoken enough. See y'all next time. I'm out. Peace.